Okay then. What's your news, my friend?
Well, strangely enough, Nottingham's getting its own TV channel today.
Wow.
Called Snotts TV.
Snotts TV?
Yep.
Well, on Channel 8 on Freeview.
Yeah, it's cool that.
And it's all about what?
Well, it's about latest activities and events in Nottingham, I guess, but
It's about news,
oh
news
dear.
and news.
It seems that some of the main presenters are going to be former BBC, radio presenters, so
Francis Feed.
I guess we're going to have to keep our eye out there for paedophiles.
Well, I've seen the trailer for it and Ken Clark's on it, so you know.
Well, there you go.
You know Ken Clark.
He likes to kiss boys, doesn't he?
We met. We've got a friend called Ben Fellows, and our friend Ben reckons that Ken Clark fiddled with him sexually at his house. We know his house. It's only about a mile and a half from here, in that direction.
Did you know? I was watching the interview that was out recently. It was rather interesting. Do you know why the footage of Clark molesting Ben never came out?
How come?
Well, you know we used to have a TV studio in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Well,
Central TV.
Yeah. Carlton brought them out.
They did, yeah.
Do you know why they brought them out? Because the footage was from Central TV. So.
Oh, it was the Cook Report, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that was
so
produced by Carlton.
Buying the footage, they made sure that it never got general public.
Now, I wonder if Snotts TV would like to know information about this, because apparently in this article, which is in the Free Metro today, in another snooze paper, it says that they're going to do, from about 5 o'clock, 5:30, there's going to be about 2 hours of news. And they want to invite anybody that's got anything to say that's Nottingham people or anything like that. But I don't think, well, we're going to ask them if they want us to come on the show.
Yeah.
Because we've got a few interesting things to talk about, haven't we?
Can't really see them.
We'd like to talk about
allowing
terrorisms, John Collins, the council, the government, paedophiles, but I don't think it's broadcastable.
Yes.
And so if they won't let us go on, we're going to try and go on. We'll say that we want to make a film about the wonderful refurbishment of the Broad Marsh Centre, which the council are paying £50 million for.
And
then we'll talk about something else, like what we normally talk about on our YouTube channel.
Spent 50 million on the Network rail train station.
Network rail train station. Yeah.
Didn't you say they had to make some cuts of
125 million in cuts?
Hey, guess what?
What?
I've just thought of a way they could save 100 million straight away by not giving it to private corporations.
Thank you. But they do, don't they?
Oh yeah.
They do, don't they? Don't they? Yeah.
Because of course they will be on the board of directors and have shares in these corporations, so it will be money to money.
I know, mate. I've got a good idea. Right, let's set up our own TV station. And what did Nottingham used to be called?
What, many years ago?
Many years ago, yeah.
Snottingham.
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 Right, so we'll call it Snotts TV. We'll have the same logo. And anybody that wants to come on our TV channel, they can say what they fracking like. That's fracking, nothing else.
Apart from certain others that we probably won't.
I wonder if the county council would like to take some adverts with our our Snotts TV.
Well, they put adverts on all the buses and trams and billboards, so why not?
What could we do with the money?
Maybe we should see.
Give it back to the people.
Maybe we should.
We'll look like Robin Hoods, won't we?
Maybe we should see if we can get some funding from the council.
Now that's a good idea. We're going to set up a new TV channel called Snotts TV.
Funded by Nottingham City Council to the tune of £100 million.
Don't think they'll be that generous. But what are we going to do with all the money when we make it?
We'll do what all corporations do. Keep it.
That wouldn't be very nice, would it?
No, we'd have to give it to others.
We'll give it back to we get a list of all the people that have paid bedroom tax and we'll give it all them back.
Yeah. Or we make sure that we take the councils to court, because everyone knows that council tax is dodgy. There is no law that says you have to pay council tax. How about we just make sure we've got enough money then to take them to court and sue the ass off them for lying, fraud, forgery, deception, misfeasance in public office. It just goes on and on, doesn't it?
Blimey, you're good.
Now, I just want to point out, remember a few months back now we had one of the guys doing the Carl Lentz thing for a warrant of entry, and it worked fine. I saw him actually a couple of weeks ago. Right. And then he went and tried to do it with a council tax and it didn't work. Now, here's the reason why it didn't work. Now, we all know that when they fabricate these liability orders, what they then do is send bailiffs for you and all that sort of rubbish. But at some point, they might call you back into court and try and send you to prison for it.
Okay.
Now, here's why the car lengths won't work in that situation. And shall I tell you why?
Go on then.
Because they hire the court out again.
Oh, like they do for council tax?
Yeah, and this time though, and the reason I know this is the guy who John from Wales who did it. What happened to him is he asked for the magistrates' names, and the man impersonating the clerk of the justice.
Yeah.
The magistrates asked him if they had to give their names, and the man impersonating a clerk of the justice said, "That's up to you." Now, I don't know if you know this, but under law, you have to identify yourself. I forget which judge it was, but basically said that there can never be a private court because that would be illegal. So, when you go there for this council tax malarkey, they're acting illegally. The guy pretending to be a clerk of the justice needs arresting for impersonating a clerk of the justice. The magistrates, they just think they ain't got a clue what's going on. But the guy who's in charge is the clerk of the justice, or in this case, not the clerk of the justice, a man impersonating a clerk of the justice. He is guilty of misfeasance in public office. And by the way, impersonating a court official is an imprisonable offence. So that guy acting as the clerk of the justice is looking at time, or should be doing time if it wasn't all fixed.
Wow, he's passionate today, isn't he? Well, I get your point, my friend.
These councils.
They should all be arrested. Because it's just ridiculous. I was in court a few months ago with a friend of mine, and there were three magistrates there, one with silver hair, fat man sat in the middle. And there was this woman from Nottingham City Council, her name was Julie.
Was that young one there, the young magistrate, about 24-year-old?
No, this was a different case that I was in. Excuse me. And the magistrate, the older magistrate in the middle, said to the woman prosecutor from the council, "Council tax, has everybody got to pay this?" And she says, "Yes, your worship." "Yes, your worship." And he says, "Then I'll grant the liability order."
Is it were or war? Either way, it's still in Admiralty because they're still using the word ship.
It's ridiculous, but basically the council was paying the magistrates and they'd hired the court for that day. So that's not justice, that's enforcement, isn't it? That which is slavery, and that's terrorism.
Yeah.
So, do you realise, people, that our councils, our so-called elected representatives...
Like John Collins, the unelected representative.
The unelected representatives, they're making billions, and they're committing terrorist acts upon the residential citizens that live and work and enjoy this island called the UK. Yeah. Which is now a private PLC.
Did you know that Collins used to be the CEO of Nottingham City Council?
Yeah.
And then he just created a new job for himself and made himself the leader of the City Council. Still on the same wage. He probably got an increase, actually, knowing how he works.
Jobbing builder he used to be.
Yeah. Builder?
Yeah.
Why was he called a jobbing builder?
I don't know. Somebody used to call him a jobbing builder. He used to go in the Gladstone pub in Carrington in Nottingham. And people used to take the mickey out of him because he didn't eat meat of his choice.
But now he's a multi-millionaire and he's got his multi-millions in bank accounts in other countries. He doesn't need to go there anymore, does he?
Shouldn't really say anything about John Collins or his mate Hassan Ahmed. Hassan Ahmed. There's a businessman called Hassan
biggest crooks
Ahmed
in Nottingham. Be careful what you say about those crooks.